Hello, friends. Pamela here with Passionate About Scrapbooking, your Stampin' Up demonstrator in the Texas Hill Country in Fredericksburg, Texas. Welcome to tonight's Create With Me Monday. So I've changed things up just a little bit. Moving forward, instead of doing Make It Monday, we're doing Create With Me Monday. And earlier in the day, I plan on posting a reel sharing a technique on every Monday, mostly making a card. And then in the evening at 5 p.m. Central Time, I'll be going live here on YouTube and Facebook. I hope I'm live in both those areas. So if you're joining me, be sure to say hello. Let me know where you're viewing from, and then that'll give me an idea of if you're on YouTube or Facebook as well. Or you can just let me know, but usually over here in the comments, it'll tell me who's commenting from YouTube and from Facebook. So the first 2 Mondays of the month, my plan is to do a 12 by 12 scrapbook page on the Monday live at 5. And then on Thursdays, I'll be doing my Restoring Joy through Scrapbooking, which I'll be making a 2-page 12 by 12 scrapbook spread then. So just playing around. Hey, Cherise, how are you doing? Playing around with some different formats and trying to find something to share more techniques with you and more scrapbooking as well. I've been doing lots of cards. I am going to continue doing a free card kit every month, but that will be separate and different from the cards that I share in my Monday reels. So you'll have some additional ideas that you can use with the suite collection that I'll be focusing on each month. So for January, I focused on the Made with Love Suite collection. This month, we'll be focusing on the Lovely Blossom Suite collection. So I'll have tons and tons of ideas to share with you, from the reels that I create to the card class, the craft along card class and kit that I'll do for the month of February. That one you'll get free with a $50 purchase for the month of February. I will share those cards and make those cards for you in a live on the 3rd Monday of the month. It might be live, it might be recorded. I'll be gone this 3rd Monday of February. I might be back in time to do the live, but I think I'm going to have the recording prepped just in case. So hello, Wendy. Wendy must be somewhere on the other side of the globe because it's morning where she's at, and it's 5 o'clock Central Time, PM here in the Texas Hill Country. So be sure to say hello. Let me know if you're viewing or where you're viewing from. Hopefully the weather is getting a little bit better, but maybe not depending on where you're from. We have some nice we're in between kind of fall and winter temperatures right now. It's cold at night and in the morning, and then it warms up a little bit. Hello, Katie. Hello, Jackie. Thanks for joining me. I'm so excited for this new format that I'm doing. I'm going to share my technique with you, what I shared in my reel earlier today. You can see that on Facebook, Instagram, and I put it on YouTube as a story or a short, I think is what they call it. And hello, Sharon. Thank you so much for joining us from Queensland. Awesome. So I've got my 12 by 12 scrapbook page prepped today. Before we get going, I'm going to share with y'all just a few things. I already shared a little bit about my format, but I'm going to go ahead and jump over to my hands here so you can kind of see what we got going on today. And let's see, this month, for the month of February, we're going to focus on an online exclusive that was released in January, and it is the Lovely Blossom Suite Collection. Our Global Ink Collective Design Team tutorial bundle just went live yesterday, and we use this suite of products as well. So you can get that PDF for $15 if you just want to purchase the PDF, or you can get it for free when you place a $50 order through my Stampin' Up website the month of February. And that needs to be $50 before tax and shipping, or any of your stamping rewards that you've taken off. So just make sure your subtotal is $50. So Sharon says it's 9:06 a.m. in Queensland. Now we got a big time difference. And is it Tuesday already, I think? So I've been learning all about time zones since I've been a part of the artisan design team, because we have team members all over the world. Gets a little confusing sometimes, but I'm figuring it out, especially this second time around, the second year around, as I'm a team leader along with Serena, and I'm not even going to attempt to say her last name. All right, just a real quick update. Today is the last day for bonus days. You can place a $50 order and earn a $5 coupon for every $50. So if you spend $100, you would get 2 coupons. You'll want to save those emails that you receive from Stampin' Up, or find them if you earn some through the month of January, because beginning tomorrow, you'll be able to redeem those coupons. So start digging through your emails and finding those. So I've already shared, every $50 you earn a coupon, and then you'll be able to redeem them starting tomorrow. I don't have the product of the month. I saw a sneak peek from somebody. That was January's. Tomorrow, our February, I'm trying to jump to March for some reason already. So our February product of the month here in the US will go live at midnight tonight. I do know it's some designer series paper, and it's really cute. So here are some details. You can get that for $5 with a minimum $75 order. Also, the stamping positioner, let me know if you have it in your hands already, and if you do, that probably means you're a demonstrator. I ordered mine 2 weeks ago, and it just showed up this afternoon. So my stamp positioner got stuck in Utah, I guess it was, because of the winter storm Fern that came through. I don't think it affected Utah much, but between here and Utah, there was some really bad weather. So it got stuck for well over a week and a half, and it just showed up today. So this is the new stamp positioner. I'm so excited about it. You can find a YouTube tutorial, maybe on Stampin' Up's YouTube. I did put the link, I think maybe in an email that I sent out. I don't remember. But you do get visual instructions, I guess, of how to use it. I'm not going to use it tonight because I got to play with it and learn how to use it. I don't know how well I'll be able to, or what it'll do for me as far as scrapbooking, but card making, it's going to be fabulous. And I was looking, I think it just says parts. It doesn't really, I was going to see if there were written instructions. Not really, just a little bit. More of it's visual. Yeah, you got to see it to figure it out. So I was just going to share with you real quick. It comes apart. It has different pieces in it. It's got some magnets here. I already stuck in some of the paper, so you can order a paper pad to go with it. If you're a demonstrator, I think that ends today, is the last day you can get this. So how you get it moving forward is the month of February, I believe starting tomorrow, you will be able to earn it, or you don't really earn it. You get it with your Stampin' Up demonstrator kit. So if you decide that you want to join Stampin' Up, there we go. We have an exclusive join offer, and you can get it in your kit for free. And then later, they haven't told us when, everyone will be able to purchase it. So if you're just a customer not interested in joining my team at this point, you'll have to wait a little bit longer. Not sure when that'll be. Hello, hello. I know you've told me your name and I can't remember. I'm going to have to make a note. From Germany, it's past 10 minutes past midnight. So it's already Tuesday. All right, so more details will be shared in my email about this tomorrow, but here's a quick snippet. If you want to screenshot that, do so. All right, I'm going to clean up my space here, and we're going to get busy trying to remember if there's anything else I need to share with you. I don't think so. Oh, I was going to, if I can find I'm not sure if I can find my catalog. I had it right here, but now I don't, so we won't mess with that. And it wouldn't matter because the products I'm using tonight are not in the catalog. They're an online exclusive. All right, so let's get prepared and let's get ready. So if you didn't see my reel today, this is what I created. I created one card for my reel. And I took this idea out of no, I took it, and it's not out in the catalog. Remember, I took this idea, I think it was when you go and look at the Lovely Blossom Sweet Collection online. This might be one of the samples that they have in there. You may have to look under the product suites to see it. I'm not sure. But I altered it just a little bit. And I'm sharing tonight how to do this soft-centered two-step inking on the flowers. So a really simple technique, but super fun. So we'll do that. So if you want to see how that card came together, be sure to check out the short on YouTube or the reel on Instagram and Facebook. So I'm going to show you how to do that tonight on my scrapbook page. I'm going to do a page about Bevan and I. This is my youngest daughter who just went off to college in August. And I went and grabbed some of my favorite pictures of us for the past 10 years. So I think it goes, top part are like 10 years ago, then probably 5 years-ish. And then this were the most recent photos right here. So I had a little fun and made a collage because I am only doing one page, but I get lots of photos when I do. This is a 4x6. Thank you, Susan. How are you? She's over or up in Lubbock, Texas. I bet it's a lot colder there than it is here. So I was going to do a page about Jeff and I, and then I checked in with Bevan this morning, told her to have a happy Monday. Yeah, this is the text that I printed it out so you could see. Happy Monday. Hope you have a great week. Love you. Thanks. I hope you have a good week too. Love you so much. If you want to come visit ever, you can. I was like, oh, how sweet is that? That made my heart happy. So I'm going to go. We're only an hour and a half away. So I'm going to go and visit her on Wednesday, take her to lunch. She doesn't have classes till about 3:30. So I thought, well, that's great. Okay, I also have my journaling here, and it's just a kind of a faith reflecting journaling. I've got our names and 2015 to 2025, just to reflect the dates in the photos. So we'll set that aside and come back to that in just a little bit. And later, not in this particular page, but yeah, this would be you could totally scrapbook this. If you have some fun text messages or sentimental text messages, you can always screenshot those and scrapbook those. So just a little tip. Hello, Jane. How are you doing? Thank you all so much. All right, I've got a lot of my stuff prepped right here. Not everything, but most of it. we're going to, let me tell you a little bit about the product. Let me see if I can I'll bring in this. I'm going to see if I have one of each sheet. I think I do. Full sheet. Let me tell you a little bit about the kit. So I think this one, let me see if no, that's not a full. Okay, I think it's this way. You're going to get 3 sheets of each. So 3 of these, that's the back. 3 of these, and 3 of these. That's crumb cake. So I'll flip that over so you can see those a little bit better too. Super pretty and soft, but also a little bold. So you can go either way you want with it. I went a lot softer with this card this time, but you'll see quite a few different ideas from me this month. So you'll get the designer series paper. I'm talking about the Sweet collection, the designer series paper collection. Then you'll get the lovely arrangements. That's available in the suite. You can buy all of these individually as well. So you've got stamps and dies. These are so fun. Here, let me share with you one other idea, maybe, if I can find it. I got this as a thank you card from the artisan design team leaders for my 2025 year. So you can kind of get an idea. Totally different look as well. And then I'm going to set these aside. Then we have some ribbon. This is totally beautiful, makes beautiful ribbons. I cut mine apart, like right down the center, so I would have even some thinner pieces. But this is, what are they calling this? Textured ribbon, which is in cloud cover. It's one of our in colors. And I'm looking, then we have our 6x6 embossing folder, 3D embossing folder. I won't be using it today, but I will be using it throughout the month. It's got a real cool texture on it. And where are I don't remember what they're called. Muted dots, matted. I think they're called matted dots. I don't know where my packaging is, but you've got Secret Sea, Old Olive, Cloud Cover, and White. So we'll use some of those tonight. And I think that's the whole suite. We're going to be using Cloud Cover. I've got some two-tone cardstock here. We're going to use the Old Olive and Secret Sea classic stamping pads. And if you're not aware, the Cloud Cover classic stamping pad they had to discontinue because the ink formulation wasn't working properly. So they recommended, let's see if I have this, that we use the Cloud Cover ink refill with a uninked stamping spot. So I've made my own little ink pad here. So we'll use that tonight. I don't really need the re-inker, but that was just to show you. We'll be using a sponge dauber along with a water painter. And let's get busy. So I've got several pieces here. These I'm going to do some stamping on here in a minute, along with this one. So I think I'm going to move this out of the way, and then I'll try to remember to put it back straight here in a minute. So let's do some of our prep work. I'm going to get my cleaner over here. So just hold, please, while I rearrange a few things. There we go. I think that'll work good. Hello, Pauline. Thanks for joining me. Saying hello. All right, let's start. We're going to do some random stamping right here. And I think before I do that, I'm going to grab a scrap. Actually, I'll just put this down instead for the moment. This will make everything easier, I think, while we're stamping. I don't really have to stamp. Well, I'm going to stamp off this piece a little bit. This piece is going to go directly on the scrapbook page. So it's a 2.5-inch by 12-inch piece. So we're going to build our own background paper right here. So I'm going to show y'all how to do this soft-centered 2-step stamping. So I'm using my cloud cover ink. I'm just going to make sure I get some coverage on there. I will need my Secret C, and I'm going to go just in the center and tap some color on there with my sponge dauber. You can go out a little bit further if you want to, but not necessary. And since I'm going to be doing some random stamping, I'm going to stamp off the center here. And then I'm trying to, let's see here, because I want to do both of these. So I think I will do them interchangeably. Once you get going, it doesn't take too long. Now this one, you don't want to really go down here if you can help it. It's just right there. And it will kind of bleed into those little veins a little bit. So I think I want to keep it fairly close, but I'm thinking I'm going to bring in some die cut leaves maybe too. I'm not going to concern myself too much about the ink transferring because there's not that much on in the center. All right, so this will take us just a minute to do. You want to make sure you're rotating your stamp around. I think I'm going to do it over here. Let's make sure I'm getting in the right sequence. Again, can kind of decide where you want it. All right, so that's what we have so far. We're just going to keep going down. I'm going to do this one again, I think. So not only am I going to show you, I'm showing you this fun technique. I think I'm going to go over here this time. I'm also showing you how to do random stamping and creating your own background. So just, I know you can't tell as much. Let me pull it up and see if you can see the difference in the color. I think you can. In person, you can tell a lot more. All right, so I'm going to do this one. So you could do smaller, oops, where am I at? A smaller piece if you just wanted to do cards. I keep having to think kind of hard to keep it in the right sequence. A little harder than I thought I would have to. Okay, where do I want to put this one? So I'm trying to leave a little bit of space because I'm thinking I'm going to put some of the embellishments like the dots around in here along with some die cut leaves. I think I'll put this one here. Good thing I'm only doing like a 2.5-inch by 12 and not the whole entire background, but you could do that. And just depending on how things are looking really is which one I'm going to do next. All right, let's do one more of the big ones. And then we'll see if we need to fill in, or maybe we'll fill in the rest with those other elements I mentioned. So I think over here, I think I'll fill in down here with those other pieces. Well, okay, so I'm going to save that. I'm going to set that aside just for a second. I will need, let me keep this out real quick. Let's do, not that, because I'm going to make a cluster. So I want a few, I'm going to stamp right in the middle. Let's do this a couple of times. We'll do 2 of each. We're going to die cut these out, and then they can be part of my cluster. Okay, and 2 of these. Now you could do this with any color combination. Maybe like a brown. I think it would be pretty with brown and then yellow in the middle. Does anybody know what these flowers are? I don't even know what kind they would be considered. And I think I'm going to do, I don't know if I'm going to use this, but I'm going to stamp. I need to re-ink this a little bit, but I'm going to do a couple of these, just 2 of them, I think, in case I need some filler in my clusters. I'm not sure. All right. I think I pressed a little too hard on that one, but that'll be fine. All right, so I don't think I need those pieces. I can put those away. We'll die cut these out here in a minute. I'm going to clean up my mess. And now let's look at I'm going to see if I can go ahead and just build this up a little bit. So I went through and cut some different, you can't really tuck it in, so that's why I was wondering. Let me lay them around and kind of see. They can kind of go anywhere, and they can go over top of some elements. I'm going to lay them out. We're going to see what it looks like. We may have to trim a few off. I'm going to put it up like this, and I'm going to cover that little boo-boo that I made. I think I want maybe something more like that, and maybe this one can go over this way a little bit. And now let's take these and see if what do y'all think? And something that I noticed as I was, and this is where we can like fill in some of this space. There we go. That's kind of where that needs to be. And then I might just do that. Might have one more in here. Maybe it. All right, I think I'm going to do this just like this. Okay, we're just going to go down the page. Anything that's overlapping the top, like, let me line it up. There we go. That's going up here on this side or that side. I'll need to, I'm going to try to use less glue. And I may have to come back and put just a smidge of glue, like right, yeah, I'll do that from now on, like right there on the stem. So just a little something different. This is mostly my technique right here, I guess. Creating this designer series paper. Some dimensional designer series paper. Oh, I think I wanted it to go up this way. I had a little smudge right there. My fingers, I usually don't use the liquid glue just because I make such a mess with it. Well, and these leaves have these veins in them. Can you see? So the glue kind of sneaks out. So you have to be careful. All right, so I'm going to see real quick if I can get a little bit of glue up under here. Like just a smidge so I can tack that down. All right, we're going to set this. Actually, we're not yet. No, we're not. We're going to do a little splattering real quick. And then when we're done, I'm going to add a few of the dots. You could use your stamping blend if you wanted to. But I think I'm just going to do this. Oh, now I'm excited. It's going to be cute. Texture, I love texture. Okay. Maybe a couple of more places. Okay, I think we're done. Just going to leave that there. Okay, we'll set this aside. We'll put it on our page, and then we'll add some dots in there. I'm going to set it over here for now. I'm going to do our die cutting real quick, and then we'll have pretty much everything prepped. Oh, I just had another idea that I might incorporate. So I watched a Kim McGillis's Global Ink Collective video today. So you have to get the PDF to get a link to that. But I got some fun ideas from her. I just love her style and some of her tips and tricks. I'm excited. I'm using a few today, but then I'm excited to use a few more. So I don't know about you, but I've been I was like, how is everyone cutting their ribbon down the middle? Well, I just tried to make it too difficult because I didn't think I could cut straight. Sorry, let me get some of my little pieces here of Post-it tape. Yeah, and she just cut it right down the middle with her scissors. So just have to be patient, I guess. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pull this up. I'm going to cut a few of these just in case I want them in my clusters. And then I like to use this Post-it tape to keep the dies in place because they always move on me. I'm going to move this out of the way. Okay, so I'll just have to run this through twice. She does a really cool watercolor, I guess it's watercolor technique. I haven't attempted that yet, but I think I do want to play with that later in the month. She has such a, I guess you call it shabby chic. She may call it something different, but it's just really classic. Everything she does is beautiful. Okay, let's do this one more time. And even when I do this, I don't always get them cut how I want them, but I am using my plates, my number 3 plates, until they break, I think. What did I do it? There it is. I have one of my, let me see, I think that's the right, yeah. I'll show you. This one's pretty worn, but this one right here is starting to crack, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to use it until it breaks. I keep dropping it on the floor, so I keep thinking it's about to break, and it hasn't yet, but they are kind of warped, but they're still working, so I'm going to get as much use out of them as I can. All right, there's all that prepped. I got my title prepped already. All right, so let's bring this back in. See if I can get it set up where it was at, mostly. Let's see. Pretty much. And I'll get these pulled off. Just throw them in our stash over here. So I've got everything kind of prepped and ready to go right there. That's not wanting to come off. All right. All right, I've got two-tone cardstock. I think I mentioned that earlier, but I'm going to use the light side. So I'm going to put some removable glue dots just in 2 corners on the dark side and then flip it around. This will just keep it on my mat. This was a scrap piece that I had, so you'll see, I'm going to do something similar, and that just made me think I want to kind of roll this piece up, kind of like I did on that one. And I just take the corner and then start just kind of rolling it, breaking the fibers a little bit to roughen it up. And rolling it on itself. You can keep it rolled kind of like that if you want. This bigger piece is a little bit harder. Or just kind of let it. This one's being finicky, but I think that's good enough. I'm just going to do it up in that one corner. And we need some adhesive. So see that beautiful background right there? you can cut these apart, and there'll be 2x2s, 3x4s, and 4x6s, and you can use these just on your cards. Remember, you get 3 sheets of this. So you can use one of these sheets and then 2 of this size background. All right. So it is, FYI, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 inches by 11, I believe. I'm coming right over to the 2.5 inch mark. I should have a border that's about 1/2 inch all the way around. And then we're going to have this over here. Now I'm going to trim right here. I'm going to go around. I'm going to have to do that right here. And then here. I'm going to flip this one over. All right. So that ends up making it kind of look like a piece of fabric. That's why we stamp off the edge. Now I'm going to go ahead and just glue this down. I'm going to come right to the edge like that. And then I have this 1/4 inch piece by 12 that I think I'm going to put right there. Okay. So I'm going to go over here to the side and just put some adhesive. This is two-tone cardstock 2, and I'm putting it on the light side, and then we'll just put it right up against this piece. Well, let me get it down. Okay. Doesn't that make then that makes this over here just kind of pop. All right. And like I said, I think I'm going to put a few dots over here when we get done. All right, let's build up our, let me get all my pieces. I got my title. I do have one more part of the title I think I want to stamp. So I used the Alphabet a la Mode dies to do part of my title. It's like, what did I do with my journaling and my picture? They're over here. Okay, I have one more leaf here. I might can use it in here somewhere. I might have to cut another one just to make that work. All right, I cut a 2.5 by 3 3/4 inch piece. These are, or this is two-tone cardstock as well. So I'm going to use the light side on this one and the dark on this. So this was that die that I cut. And I'm just going to run some adhesive down a couple of areas. There's been lots of cute ways to use this. You can cut it apart and use it as scallops. We'll do some of that at some point. Not on this page, though, I don't believe. And I'm going to just layer that on here. So I have 4 pieces. I made a stencil. That's what I wanted to do. So I may come back in here and add a little bit of stenciling too. I think I just got glue on my picture. I may have to replace my picture here in a little bit, but I'll do that later. Okay, so I have 3 pieces of designer series paper. So that right there would be a whole nother color combination. Then you've got this color combination. So these pieces are the same as this one. It was 2.5 by 3 3/4. So we're going to build up something similar to what I did here in my card. I think I decided I was going to go this way though. This one, I'm going to keep it up because that's just how I had it cut. But these, I think I'm going to, I need to make them go out a little bit further. And see, I might have to have one more piece actually. Thinking I might do this. I think I might have to have something else right here. So let's kind of see what. If I do, I'm thinking if I can cut this in any way to make it work, but I don't think so. So let me look through my scraps. We'll try to keep this simple if possible. Here's another, I don't want that piece. Let me see what I have in. Any of these would work. That, it's not big enough. There's a green. If I change it up a little bit, I might can use that green right there. Let's try that. Since I have a bigger photo, I'm going to cut this out right here. And I'm going to rearrange things just a little bit. I wasn't sure how much my 4x6 photo would span across here. So if I do, maybe if I do this up here and this over here, then I can do this over here. I'm not sure if I like that or not. Maybe if I do, I don't want a lot of it showing, so I think this might work. I want it like that at least though. These have to overlap over here too. Maybe I will make this go like this. I think I like the idea of this going behind though. So not quite as much green. Okay, so let's tack some things down. Do y'all think that looks okay? I wonder if I should. I wonder if I should do like this and then have a little bit more of that. I have scraps. I'm going to see. Yeah, this will work. I'm just going to do the same size and I probably don't need that much, but I think that's going to work. Okay, something like that. So I'm going to start with this. I want it up fairly high. And I'm going to tilt it just a smidge. Don't put too much glue because then we can tuck under and stuff if we want. So I'm going to cut this in half because I can save the rest of it for something else. So I end up with these two pieces, and I'll just use this to tuck up under there. I don't know. I think maybe I like the green overlapping like that a little bit. A little bit higher. All right, and then I'm going to take this and I'm going to see if I can find myself some big dimensionals. Here's a few, but not. Goodness, I have a bajillion little ones. There they are. All right, I'm going to go ahead and, you know what? I can just like probably take this whole thing off right here and use it. Cut it right here. Said I may have to put my just going to use the negative space here to fill this in. And then I could put a few. What was I going to say? I think that'll work. Don't know. I've got a little spot right here. Okay, I think I got it taken care of. Okay, that's going to work. Hello, Vicki. Don't know if I said hello or not. We have lots from the Australia side of the world joining us here in the Texas Hill Country. Everybody's waking up, huh? They're getting their day started. Y'all might have been awake for a while, but all right, here we go. Think that's gonna work right about there. What would be fun, you could also make a pocket and have a tag. I thought about doing that, but I was like, oh, it's too much. All right. I'm thinking I want to try this stencil idea. I think this one might work. Let me see. I'm going to just do it on the back. Before, I'm going to put some like right down in here, I think. Just real lightly. A little more than that. Can't really see it at all. Won't be able to line it back up now. I'm going to hold it down. Okay, that's working. I did not think to do this until I saw Kim doing it. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so brilliant. Why didn't I think to make a stencil out of that? Look. And then I can do it up here too. I'm going to try to do it where I'm not going over the designer series paper so much. And I don't even have to do a lot really. Let me hold it down to see if that's working. Just a tiny bit. Also thought it would be pretty on here too, but maybe a little bit. Should I put just a tiny bit here and there? I think so. I think it'll be cool. Yep. So just kind of, would be considered like mixed media. It's real subtle. It just adds a little bit more texture. Okay, I love that. Now let's get our title. My title is, and there's my L. Always here for you. I'm going to use part of a stamp as the here for you. I think I'll do it probably right about always. Okay, just wanted to make sure. You could put some adhesive sheets on your letters before cutting them out, but I always forget to do that, and I decided I wasn't really crazy about the adhesive sheets, but so I used my silicone mat. I'm going to grab some tweezers to help me hold and line this up. Now that's not straight. I have to remember that. It's a little tilted, so I'll follow the lines here instead. I like the silicone mat because the adhesive doesn't stick to it. I'm going to follow the lines, the vertical lines, but then go across this way, lining up like that. That's how I'm looking at it. And we're actually getting pretty close to being done. Since we have everything, pretty much everything prepped, now I think I do have to cut my journaling lines real quick, but kind of figure out where I'm going to position those. I think I kind of have an idea to put them around the page. I think I'm getting pretty straight. I got the new alphabet letters. The new products that I got in today are from our March 2026 online exclusives release. Maybe at the end I'll show you what the couple of things that I got. I already have another order on its way too, because I kind of realized I messed up a little bit. All right, so I don't think I'm gonna use the Secret C to stamp the rest of my title. I think I'm gonna do it in Old Olive. So let me find this stamp right here. This is the stamp that I used on the card. So you can see always here for you. I'm just going to see if I can ink up the here for you. So let me get a block. And I think I can do it right there. I think I would prefer, I'm going to try to ink it up without getting the, see if I can do that. I might have gotten just a tiny bit on the S, but I'm going to pull it off. And then I think I'm going to put it about right here. Just perfect. And And then I can see how I can cut that out real quick. I'm thinking about doing like a little banner. So I'll just go right there. Let's see if I got it in here straight. I think right there. And then I'm going to cut a smidge off the bottom here. Try to get it pretty tight. And then I can just fussy cut this out, I think. Let's do a little banner. Something, see, I can do this over here too, kind of similar to what I did to the card to add some more texture. I meant to do that earlier and I forgot. So again, just kind of roll it up with your finger a little bit and break up those fibers in there. There we go. Just adds a little bit more interest. I think that'll work right there. I have 2 dimensionals. Vicki says it's almost 11 a.m. in Sydney. I still kind of, all right, I think that'll work. Always here for you. There's the title. Now, all we need to decide, we're going to do a big one or a little one. Maybe a big one and then a little one up here somewhere maybe. I have 2 more, so maybe I could. I feel like I have a hat for a. I got to play around with it a little bit and see. Trying to anchor it. Just give me a minute and see. Visualize it. That'd be pretty up there, kind of like that. This one, I haven't decided yet. Maybe it needs to be up like that. What do you think? And then I would have to cut another one if. I like the green. I'm going to cut one more of those real quick. So it's just this little tiny one, and I cut it out of, let me see if I have it over here. No. I actually cut those out of the green. Find a little scrap. I don't know where the piece is that I cut. That designer series paper. I'm going to do that off camera real quick. And that'll just bring that little pop of green into the cluster. Even though we have a little bit of green right here, I think it needs. I think my journaling and the dots are about all we need left. Okay, but we do need to, since these are under, I could actually put them. I think I used all of that. Yay! I have a little bit left on here. Since that's popped up, I think I will pop these up. Whoops. But not the leaves, but I'll put the leaves down in just a minute. You could put more, but I think I'm just going to do that. This one right here is a Snapchat that we did. I wonder if I should go more up like this. I'm trying to decide. I think I'm going to go like that. Got another little piece of adhesive right there. Dang it. It's probably that one that was. I'll have to see if I can get it off. It's smeared on my face. I'll probably have to lay a new photo on here, but that's fine. Y'all ever have that happen? Who of y'all that are watching Scrapbook? If I mess up a photo, sometimes I'll just lay a new photo on the top sometimes. Okay, I think. Okay, that one's all used up. Maybe I'll do two. I didn't use my ribbon yet. I wanted to put a little bow in here somewhere, but we'll see if I actually have one made already. We'll see if I can find a place that it looks cute. I hear Jeff, he's home. He left work early today. So I think he went in really early. I want. I'm gonna do that right there. Need to turn it so it stays on the page. And then where is my little green gonna go? Here, we'll do it like that. I don't think it's gonna work up in here because I don't want it to cover up anything. So I don't know if it's going to, if I'm gonna use this or not. Let's figure out the last things we have to do are the journaling. We'll lay that there and just see what happens here in a minute. I can show you how I do my journaling. I print it out on a 4x6 piece of, this is the messed up part, I think. Yeah. So I cut super close to there, and same thing over here. And then I'm just going to do strips. And I'm just trying to make sure there's no pieces of the journaling right along the gutter where I cut right there. So then I get these little strips like this. Okay. And sometimes I have a hard time because my contacts are giving me a little problem. And my journaling, my computer has not been, well, I think it has to do with whatever setting I have it on. It might be a little blurry. Can't tell if it's my contacts or the actual journaling. Same thing, I'll just change it out later if I need to. I'm not seeing as well close up with my contacts lately. A little bit higher. All right. I just love doing my journaling in strips like this, because then I can kind of maneuver it around the page how I want it. Let's see what we got. And I just cut the ends off. So it's just a little bit of a process. So I know, I'm pretty sure these will go down here somewhere. I don't know if y'all can hear Jasper. Shh. I think he's hungry. He's a very vocal cat. All right, now let's see if I can get it in the order that I want it in. So 1 second. See if I can find where I did my journaling. Through every... Okay, I want this one first. So I think I might come out all the way over here. God has carried us through so many seasons, some joyful, some hard, all meaningful. My fingers are sticky, so we'll figure out where that's going to go here in just a second. Through this one, I didn't do very good. Through every change and every year, love stayed steady. Presence mattered more than perfection. Always here for you, trusting God. So I think I might come up and do, let me see. So I can see on the screen. I am going to take my shirt and see if I can. I'm going to have to redo this one. Yeah, I just really smudged that, but I'll come back and do it here in a little bit. Actually, I might go up here with this part. And then over here with this one. I can go all the way up in there. I can totally do that. I don't know that I want it. Maybe. And then this one. I don't think I need the always here for you since I've got it as the title. I can do this one. And something kind of like that. I like that. Okay. Adhesive. I'm going to do this one first. So we'll do it like right in here. So this right here is why I love the journaling strips. Because then I can just put my journaling kind of scattered throughout the page wherever I want to put it. Hello, Maureen. I think I'll do it right about there. I'll do our names first. Just wondering if I could tuck this up under somewhere to get a little ribbon in here. I don't know. Or if I do it this way. No, it'd have to go like this. Don't think I can get it where I want it right there. I'm gonna have to throw him outside maybe. Yeah, I don't think I really like that. I think I'll leave it right here. I might, let me see here. What if I just did some tucked into each one, kind of like this instead of a bow? Let me see if that will, if I can make that work. So I'm going to take this piece and put a little glue dot right in the middle. See if I can make it hold together like that a little bit. And then a glue dot on the back. And tweezers. About to wrap it up. Yeah, that'll get just a little bit of ribbon in there. That'll work. And then I got to find my dots. Oh, they're right here. And we'll put some dots around. All right, let me clean up just a little bit. We can see what we got. Got a lot going on over here. 1 second. All of this I'm putting in my trash. All right. Let's see how bold I want to go. Think I'll do secrecy. I don't want to do like a ton of them, but whoops, where'd it go? Don't know if I got that one. If I dropped it. Don't know. Lots and lots of texture. As I'm doing this, I think I'm getting all my little ones on the outside and all the big ones on the inside. That's fine. Okay, there's that. And then let's just, should I do white? I'm going to go off over here. And then, let's see. I like putting them in the little crevices, trying to, I think I'll go up here because I did that one over here. And way over here, just around the clusters. All right, we are done. I think that works, something a little different. What do y'all think? So we got our, I already forgot what I called it, soft centered two-tone, two-step stamping. So we've got our, I'll pull it up a little bit so you can see a little bit better. Our flowers are in Cloud Cover and Secret Sea. Just a fun, simple little way to add a little bit more extra texture, visual texture, not real texture, to your pages, to your cards. And then there are the cards that I did as well. So be sure to go check out the reel where you can see it go together really quick and easy, but this was your opportunity to see it in real time, creating a 12 by 12 scrapbook page. So thanks for joining me tonight. I had so much fun creating this page, something a little different and pretty simple all in all. And be sure to join me Thursday at 5 p.m. Central Time for my Restoring Joy Through Scrapbooking. We will be using the Coordinating Scrapbooking Workshop Kit. I am so excited about this, and I'm going to do something totally different than what's featured in the Scrapbooking Workshop Kit, but I'm going to use the elements of the Scrapbooking Workshop Kit. And we'll bring in some of the stamps that coordinate with that. I'm not sure if I know where they're at right now. I don't think they're in my stash. Here they are. So I can scrapbook about things that I'm currently listening to, playing, learning, watching, making, celebrating, and loving, and reading. Did I say that already? So I love this stamp set. I'm so excited. I have some ideas because years ago for a album retreat with Close to My Heart, we did a 2-page spread that was using some of those same ideas. Title was currently, and then you can do like all of those on one 2-page spread. So I'm probably going to be doing that on Thursday. All right. Thank y'all so much for being here. Let me know if you have any questions about anything. Don't forget that for the month of February, you'll be able to, when you place a $50 order with me, not only will you get 10% in stamping rewards that you can use on a future purchase, you'll also receive the Global Ink Collective Design Team Tutorial Bundle, which is a PDF that has 12 projects using the same suite of products, and my free Craft Along card classing kit. I'll be sharing those cards with you shortly. They'll be different from the ones I'm creating for my Create With Me Monday reel. And one second, just real quick, I'll share with you what I got in my box today for some new. I just got a few things to play with so far, but I'll just share real quick what I got. Check this out. I'm so excited about this. Stamp, an alphabet stamp, and will be great for memory keeping. Then I got this suite of products, or most of the suite. Don't even remember what it's called. Made with Sweetness, that's the sticker sheet. And then this is homemade sweetness. So who loves to can and bake and do all the fun things in the spring? So I forgot, I didn't even know this had a die set, y'all. I ordered the stamp set and then realized later that it has dies that coordinate with it. I thought it was just the one that went with the scrapbooking workshop kit. So that's on its way, so I'll have it. And then I got a combo pack of the cardstock that coordinates with it and some new wood grain wonders. If you're a demonstrator, I'm sure you've seen all of this, but maybe there's some non-demonstrators that are, this one has that 3 sheet as well, some wood grain. I haven't even opened it and looked at this. It smells so good. I was gonna say that looks like that. So I'm not sure. Let's see. Interesting. We're gonna get a lot of this color, a lot of that color. And maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's just, maybe you only get like 2, I don't know. It's kind of confusing. That's all the paper that you get. Exciting. So who loves wood grain? It's gonna go so great with this collection of products that I've got sitting here. So that's just a few of the things that I've ordered so far. Oh, and I did get a few, excuse me, different items from my artisan box. I'll just share real quick. I think they're just sitting over here. I didn't do an unboxing. I know, Jasper, but I'll share with you what I got to work with just real quick. This is everything that came in my second artisan box. These are from the mini catalog, I think. So they sent those to us so that we can use them on some of our extra artisan projects. This will be one of the bundles that I'll be using for an assignment. And then I got the match day. I don't know if that's what it's called, to do for one of my assignments, a wonderful match. I actually volunteered for this one because I played soccer when I was little. So I have some photos that will work. Some of the other girls in my group may be mad at me for doing that, but I was like, yes, I can totally do that. We had to volunteer. And then they gave us some more products from the mini catalog. And this is all of it. I've already busted in. I got lots of two-tone cardstock. So I'll be using a lot of that. And then that, I haven't even busted in or tried this either. This is the Natural Hues paper. It's actually textured paper. So anyhow, all right, I'll leave it at that. Y'all have a great rest of or great week. Hope to see you on Thursday for Restoring Joy Through Scrapbooking. Thanks a bunch and see y'all later. Bye-bye.